So you want to know how to be happy over 50. You're not asking for the world. You just want to feel something again. Maybe lighter, maybe more like yourself, maybe just not so numb. But no matter what you try, it's like joy is just out of reach. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know this. You're not imagining it. There is a real reason why happiness feels harder after 50. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong. And it's also not just about hormones. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Because once you understand what's really happening, everything changes. If you've been wondering why so many women lose their spark in menopause, why the usual advice doesn't seem to help, and what actually works to start feeling better, you're in the right place. And by the end of this video, you'll have real, practical steps to start feeling lighter, calmer, and more like yourself again. So let's start with the big question. Why does happiness feel so different after 50? Here's something nobody tells you. Your brain is wired for survival, not happiness. It's like a smoke alarm. Its job isn't to make sure you feel joyful, it's to keep you safe. And over time, that alarm gets really sensitive. Menopause changes brain chemistry, making stress and anxiety more dominant than joy. Your brain starts prioritizing threat detection over happiness. And here's the tricky part. It doesn't know the difference between real danger and everyday stress. It reacts the same way whether you're being chased by a tiger or whether you're just overwhelmed by life. That's why things that used to make you happy might not feel the same anymore. You haven't lost your ability to feel joy. It's just buried under a system that's over-prioritizing stress. It's not just hormones doing this. It actually goes much deeper than that. For most of human history, we weren't even meant to live decades past menopause. Our brains evolved for survival, not long-term happiness. For thousands of years, the brain's job was simple. Keep us alive long enough to raise our children. That's it. So what happens when we reach an age where, biologically speaking, our survival mission is over? The brain shifts into full-on risk assessment mode. It starts filtering the world differently. That's why after 50, you find yourself feeling more anxious, more disconnected, or just flat. It's not because you've lost your spark. It's because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And this is where many women get stuck. Because the second that you start feeling off, you do what you're supposed to do. You try to fix it. You try everything that you've been told will make you happy. Gratitude lists, meditation, mindset work. You push yourself to go for walks. You eat more healthily. Maybe even force a smile because they say it helps. And yet nothing changes. That's because most happiness advice is designed for a brain that's already open to joy. But a menopausal brain, that's different. It needs a completely different approach. And this is where forcing positivity can actually backfire. When your brain is stuck in survival mode, trying to push happiness can feel fake, exhausting, even frustrating. It's like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. The harder you try, the more resistance you feel. And it's not your fault. This can feel so frustrating. But it's also good news, because the problem isn't you. It's not that you're broken. It's not that happiness is gone forever. It just means that you need to work with your brain, not against it. Think of it like a radio. Your brain has two stations. One is tuned to stress and survival, and the other is joy and connection. And before menopause, you could switch between them pretty easily. But now, the dial is stuck on the stress channel. And the goal isn't to force happiness, because let's be honest, forcing it just makes it feel even further away. The goal is to gently retune the dial so that your brain starts noticing joy again. So how do you actually do that? First step is to give your brain a safe signal every day. Right now, your nervous system is on high alert, and if your brain doesn't feel safe, it won't let you fully relax into happiness. So you have to send a clear message. We're okay now. And the easiest way to do this is with something really small, something simple. Maybe some slow breathing, perhaps some stretching, a warm tea, sitting in the sun. Not to fix your mood, but to tell your brain, we don't need to be in survival mode right now. And once your brain starts to feel safer, something really interesting happens. You start to notice little flickers of happiness again. And this brings us to the second step, noticing the tiny moments of joy that are already happening. Because here's the thing, when your brain is stuck in stress mode, it literally stops registering joy, even when it's there. This happened to me. I wasn't blocking joy on purpose. I just couldn't see it anymore. It wasn't until I started paying attention to those little flickers, a warm drink, the sunlight on my face, the sound of the birds singing outside. That was when I realised happiness was still there. My brain just wasn't picking up the signals. And this doesn't mean that forcing yourself to be grateful is what you need to do. It just means making a tiny mental note when something feels even slightly nice. And the last step is to use the "if I had to guess" trick. Because I know how frustrating it is to ask yourself, what would make me happy? And then come up completely blank. So instead, try asking yourself, if I had to guess, what might bring me a little joy, a little happiness? Now, you're not demanding an answer. You're just opening the door a little. And when your brain isn't under pressure to know, it's so much easier to find an answer. And the good news? These shifts are simple, but the real magic happens when you put them into practice. And that's exactly what I can help you with. My free 5-day boost is designed to help you feel calmer, happier, and back in control. One simple step at a time. Each day you'll get a couple of short, easy to follow ideas that help lift the mental fog, lower stress, and start reconnecting with joy again, without forcing anything or overloading yourself. You can get it right now. The link is in the description below. Happiness after 50 is possible. You don't have to force it. You just have to give your brain the ability to find it. So click the link in the description and sign up for my free 5-day boost. Let's get started. Click now. It's free.